BarbacoaCore, a podcast network.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the X Lives podcast. I am your host, Patrick C. Huerta. On this podcast, we talk about our present, our future, and more importantly, our past. The good, the bad, and the fuzzy. Stories from our X lives. Like, share, and subscribe on whichever platform you use to listen to the podcast. Follow the BarbacoaCore Podcast Network on Instagram and Facebook at BarbacoaCore. All the links to most of our podcast platforms can be found on the website www.barbacoacore.com. Any questions, comments, or to share your stories from your past on the X Lives podcast, send emails to xlivespod@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy these episodes. This is X Lives. What is up? Welcome to the podcast. James Martinez, how you doing, man?
What's up, dude?
Thanks for coming out. Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah, Happy New Year.
This is going to be the first X Lives that I've been doing, or that I've done in 2020.
Oh, shit.
Thanks for starting off the year with us. How you doing, man?
I feel good, man. I feel good. I feel special right now.
Special?
Yeah. I'm your first guest of 2020.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, here's off to a bunch of other cool guests, dude.
Yeah. It'll be good. So plugs before we get into everything, social media, websites, any shows you got coming up, how can people find you?
Okay, so Instagram, SaltyXDog. That's where I'm most active on. If you want to follow my Facebook, it's just James Martinez. That's where I, do a lot of networking. I like Facebook, and it's a lot easier to reach me there, I think, if you want to do like the messenger and stuff. And then on YouTube, I have a show with my best friends called The Bear and the Boar, and it's just kind of like a sit down in front of a camera, and we just fuck around and just, talk about whatever, and make sure to subscribe to that,
So Bear and the Boar,
Yeah.
Are you the bear or the boar?
I'm the boar. Yeah.
And what's a boar?
Like the pig, like the crazy pigs.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you get a regular pig, you know what I'm saying? You get a regular pig, and you just like throw him in the woods. He turns into they turn feral. They turn into like a boar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, I knew a boar was like a type of pig. I just didn't know how they become a boar. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it's like a regular pig that just becomes wild.
Yeah, kind of like a white guy.
Like a white
You know what I'm saying? Like if you get a white guy and you just throw him to the streets or whatever, he kind of turns into a little feral.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And so, what's the concept behind that? The bear and the boar. And why are you the boar? We didn't get into that. Why?
Okay, so it's more because he's the bear. He's my best friend. He's kind of a bigger dude, little burly guy, and people call him like they say like looks kind of like a bear. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not big enough to be a big old animal. I wanted to be like the bear and the ape or something.
Yeah.
Right, but then like we have a friend that's like huge. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not. I'm only like 5'6", bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I had to be like a little smaller animal, but it's a little crazy because I have a little crazy side to me.
See, aren't boars big though? Aren't they big?
They're not as big as a bear, dude.
No, well, not as big as a bear.
Yeah, that's
but
what
like,
I'm saying.
Pigs are big, man.
Yeah,
like
man.
like the javelinas is like bigger than a javelina.
You know what, dude? I don't know,
Yeah.
but it rolls off the tongue good. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no, it does.
Bear and
It's
a boar.
catchy. Bear
It's
and
catchy,
a boar.
right?
But
Exactly.
like you hear that characteristic of a bear, like a big dude, hairy, whatever, and then a boar. I was like, what the fuck is a boar? So I guess if you're calling yourself a feral pig,
Well, the thing is, in the gay community,
yeah,
a bear is like a big burly guy. Did you know that? All right. So I want to kind of make a new term in that community to describe somebody like me. You know what I'm saying? Because I have the body of a really big guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm
When?
Look at me right now.
No, man,
Dude,
you're a small dude.
No, bro. If you look at me with like...
No, I mean, I get it. Like, you do, like, look like muscular.
No, I look like a
but,
real...
like, you're very, like, small
No, I look
stature.
like... I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm only 5'6".
Yeah.
But I look like a guy... Like, I look like a guy that's, like, 6'4", like, 300 pounds, but just, like, condensed. You know what I'm saying?
You know Henry Rollins?
Mm-mm.
No, he was in the Rollins band and he did all this stuff. He's done in some movies and stuff. Every time I see you, because you have like those tattoos, like kind of like strategically placed.
Okay.
I always think of Henry Rollins. I'm a lot older than a bunch of these people in the open mic scene, so like I'm pretty sure nobody knows who that is. But I always get that like he's like a little like tough dude. And he looks big on TV and on movies, whatever. But if you see him in person, he's probably like, you know.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
yeah,
If you ever
short.
see me, yeah, sure. I'm short as shit, and I'm just like wide. Like
Yeah.
my girlfriend calls me a mini fridge.
Yeah.
That's what I'm built like. I'm built like a mini fridge. So I kind of like use that, but and I'm a little crazy. You've seen me on stage. I do a lot of yelling and moving and shit.
Yeah, a lot of yelling.
Dude, I've had people talk shit about me.
Yeah.
They're like, say like, oh, you like to win them over by yelling.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you like, how do I say it? Like, they think like my comedy is based around being, you know, like, just like yelling, but it's not. Like, I just do that for the first like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
If I'm at like a shitty bar, you know what I'm saying, just to like get attention. But like people have like talk shit at me and say like, oh, all you do is yell. But it's like, no, it's not. Like,
No,
I just do
it's
it
not
a lot.
all
though.
you do. It does. You do get people's attention by yelling.
Correct.
And like you'll be like for the first beginning when I saw you, you'd be kind of quiet, and then people have to like lean in to hear you, and then like you just start yelling, and I was like, oh shit, that's fucking insane.
Well, okay, so I haven't seen you in a while.
No, well I don't go to. There's some mics that I don't go to.
Yeah, I go to all the ones that nobody wants to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't seen you in a while. You've seen me when I very first started.
Yeah. How long ago did you start?
Literally since July.
July.
Yeah, that's
so
when
you're
I
pretty
started.
new at it. That's good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then when we first met was when I was like real, like I was still nervous. I was still like making myself go up there. It was rather me forcing myself to go up there. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, and I didn't know if my jokes were funny. They weren't. You know what I'm saying? So I was real quiet about it and shy about it. But now, like that I'm doing it, you know, I find what I like to do and what I enjoy doing, and that's why I'm like loud and stuff like that. But I'm trying to think. We haven't really had like this is our first serious conversation, huh? Like a first actual conversation.
I mean, I talked to you a little bit when I first noticed you at Jokesters, and then there was a guy, another open micer, acquaintance of ours that was giving you advice on one of your bits that you had.
Yeah.
It was very weird. We talked a little bit about that.
Big
but
Dan,
no.
dude.
Yeah, yeah.
I actually want to talk about him. 'Cause Big Dan.
I wasn't gonna bring it
I
up, but if you
fucking
want
love him, dude. I love him, and I feel like he's underappreciated. I've never seen him go
underappreciated.
underappreciated.
How
listen.
should people appreciate him?
Listen, I don't know if he listens to this show. Big Dan, I fucking love you. When I very first did Jokesters, my very first day doing it, I didn't like know. Like I
Was that your first spot?
No, I first did it. I laugh out loud.
Oh, okay.
But I wanted to broaden my horizons, right? And I wanted to do it at Jokesters, but I didn't know like the setup. So you know how Jokesters has those 2 buildings, right? Well, I knew to be there by 7, right? But I didn't know which doors to like get into. So I was like walking by and I was nervous. Like I was like, I don't know, I felt like really like a little kid like trying to do this. And I walk past the first set of doors. And I'm like looking in the window and I see the stage and I see the setup and I see the chairs and stuff. And I'm like opening the door, it's all locked. And the gate to like the sitting area in the back is locked. So I'm like, what the hell, man? I don't know how to get into here. Like I'm all nervous, I'm shy. And so I'm just like standing there on my phone, like as if people are like looking at me. Like I'm embarrassed. Yeah. And then so I see Big Dan walking around the corner and I'm like, hey man, like, do you know this place? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like I do you know how to get in here? And he's like, why? Like, are you a comedian? I was like, yeah, I'm trying to do like stand up. He's like, yeah, man, like I'll walk you there, dude. We could take like 2 steps, and the front door is right there. Yeah. And I was so embarrassed. And then he like throughout the night he like kind of like took care of me and kind of like like kept me company. He didn't even know me at all. Like he just saw that I was nervous. Yeah. And then he just like stayed around me and stuff. Yeah. He was a pretty cool guy.
No, he's a nice dude. He's a character.
Yeah, dude.
He's a character for sure.
Are you on his like his secret list of dudes that he sends like crazy shit to on Facebook?
Yeah. Well, I didn't know there was a secret list of dudes.
It's the craziest shit he sends me. Anyways,
just like, I'm at work, man. You gotta stop sending this shit.
Yeah, I muted his shit. Not to be disrespectful, but yeah, that shit was crazy. Anyways, but yeah, the first time that we actually sat down together, I think, was when he was telling me I don't even want to get into that. Never mind.
Yeah, I was there for that conversation.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
It was a bit weird, but I mean that's just his character. I never know if he's serious when he's talking about the stuff that he talks about. You know,
I don't know.
because he has this demeanor of like, is he kidding? Is he not kidding? I don't know. I mean, I don't need to know. It's up to him, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Oh, did we announce you have shows coming up? Did we skip over?
Oh,
that?
actually, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm hosting a gig January 17th at. Will it be out by then?
Yeah, it's coming out
Okay.
tonight.
Okay, so yeah, January 17th at Ash Basement Bar at the Smoke Restaurant. That's a show for Irma, and Al Gonzalez is headlining.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's in the Smoke restaurant.
Yeah, it's in the basement.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Ash, Smoke,
Yeah.
clever, very
Oh
clever.
yeah, I didn't
You
even
just
think
hit it.
about-
You
yeah,
just got it right now.
I didn't even think about that. Oh shit.
Because I saw like Ash Bar and it says by Sunset Station. I was like,
Correct.
I had no idea where that was. I know where Smoke is. It's right on the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the streets, but right by Sunset Station. And I was like, Ash Bar. I was trying to figure out what it was, where it was. But yeah, that's funny. It's underneath the Smoke restaurant.
Yeah, yeah,
Ash.
yeah. I do a lot of shows for Irma. Yeah, she takes care of me.
That's cool. Yeah, she Mind Twist Comedy.
Great.
For people that don't know, it's run by Irma. She gives a lot of new comics, eager comics, opportunities
Yeah,
and
she's
stuff.
great.
So that should be a good show, man. Good luck with that. Like
Oh, thanks, man.
you jumped on shows fairly quickly, huh?
Yeah, man. I had a friend record me,
Yeah.
do some jokes at Jokesters, and then I just whoever did a post, hey, I need a gig, I need a comedian, do 5-10 minutes. I make sure to like send them my video, be like, hey, I want this spot, and they're like, okay.
Yeah.
And then with Irma, I've done already like 4 shows for her, 4 shows for her, and I think the first time I went, I did pretty good. So she just keeps putting me on a lineup and stuff.
No, yeah, she's put on some pretty good shows.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
done some good shows with her. That the Elbow Room, it's hit or miss, man. It's like it's a tough room. I've had good shows there, but the mics are kind of rough there, man. So it's kind of hard for the drive.
It's definitely, it's definitely, sometimes it could not be worth the drive. And then, but I think for me, it's, if I make people laugh at, a bar where nobody's there, like nobody's there for comedy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially at the Elbow Room, nobody's there for comedy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's just there to, hang out and drink, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's a guy in the corner talking about dicks, right? Like that's what the Elbow Room is. And like, I think it's important to do those spots because that's how you know you're really funny. Is if a joke works there, where nobody wants to hear you at all. Once you go to a club where people actually want to hear you, you're gonna destroy. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I do it. Is if I would have a new material, I'll go try it out at the Elbow Room.
It's definitely a great place to try
Yeah,
out
yeah.
new material for yourself. Just
Correct.
like maybe you could get a recording of it. Just type of kind of work out your pacing of it, especially if it's the first time saying it out loud.
Exactly.
And stuff. But like it's just like rooms like that will bring out bad habits, not only for the comics or the comedians, but for the audience as well.
Okay.
Because like people, and this is just my opinion. I don't know anything, but like people kind of think that they're part of the show.
Oh yeah.
And like, yeah, you could probably heckle back and forth and maybe work on that, work on like your crowd work and all that stuff, or dealing with hecklers. But that's really not the point of these. Not supposed to be the point of these mics,
for sure.
And again, like it's not always like that. There have some good times. The bartender has to be great bartender, very nice, but she just does not understand that she can't be yelling all the time. Like she will be the loudest person in there. And I just don't understand. Like she also needs to know, especially when they're having a show that requires people to listen.
Yeah.
She needs to know that when she's talking to customers, they're gonna get their like they will be aware of the level of that their voice should be based off how she is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she is also responsible to like kind of tell the audience like, hey, do you need another drink?
Yeah.
Not, hey, what can I get you, honey?
Yeah.
Especially like in the middle of like somebody's like setup, on
I've
stage.
seen you get mad like a good 2 or 3 times.
Oh
when you
man,
go off.
and I feel
so funny.
I feel bad because I hate being mean to the staff, and
Yeah.
I think she does it on purpose because like there are some other comics that will play along with her and like put her and like get her involved. Pretty much go off of anything that they were working on and just say, okay, let's just fuck around and then have that banter back and forth with the bartender. And it's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
I've done shows, not at Elbow Room. It doesn't matter where, but I've done shows where the bartender thought she was part of it. And,
oh, really?
Yeah, and what made it even worse is that there wasn't that many people in the room already.
Okay.
So there was probably maybe, I'll say 8 people that weren't part of the show, plus the bartender, and she kept interjecting every time.
Okay.
Every time I would say something, every time I took a pause, she would interject to the point where I had to say, "You need to shut the fuck up. Like, you really need to shut up." And then she's like walking in front of the stage, like, "Oh, I'm dancing. Like, oh, I need to take these people's."
She thinks she's at church.
No, like she's
"Amen,
like,
brother."
I need to go get their order, blah blah blah, all this stuff.
Okay.
I was like, just be quiet and do your job. It was bad. I mean, the audience thought that I was playing with her, but I was not playing with her. And funny,
Get back to the kitchen.
funny enough though, like she bailed mid show. She just
really?
fucking bounced. Like nobody knew she was the only bartender in there, so they had to bring somebody from the other room.
She was working and she just left.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know if it's because she didn't seem too bothered by what I was saying to her.
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, you can't be doing that. You need to shut up. Like she went, I got a question. I was like, shut the fuck up. And by the time I got off the stage, she was gone. Nobody could find her. She just fucking left.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
You're like a superhero.
No, man. I mean, it was bad. It was hard for the show because there was more comics there than there were people in the audience.
Oh yeah, I love those shows.
And I mean, nobody's fault. I mean, it was Saturday and it was busy downtown. It was Jokesters, so it was busy downtown, like some outdoor not outdoor festival, but like the whatever in the park just wrapped up. So everybody was going home. Like nobody was gonna spend more time at a comedy show type of thing. So it was a bad timing, whatever. And they did have some people in there and stuff. I got more upset because I had my cousin from LA. He was just in town and he wanted to see me do stand up. I was like, come to this show. And then that bartender. So I was even more upset. I was like, bitch, you're ruining my fucking set in front of my cousin. I'm trying to prove something to him.
Dude, if you're a local comic and you want to bring friends, families to your shows, don't do it. Okay? Those will be your worst sets of your life, dude. I went to a mic. It was a newer mic. Right, and I decided to bring my girlfriend, right, because she's never seen me do stand-up. She honestly, I tell her some of my jokes, and she honestly doesn't even like them. Yeah. But like, she still supports me. Yeah. So like, I go and I bring her to this mic, and I'm like super excited. I'm like, my girlfriend can see me do good because I know these jokes do good. Like this is my type, like 5 minutes or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I get there, and it's one of those shows, man, where there's no crowd, and it's nothing but comedians. Especially, and they're comedians that are like seasoned, that have been in the scene for a little bit, and they do shows, they do showcases and stuff. And dude, I go up there and I start my yelling shit. Dude, they don't have time for that. Okay, yeah. So dude, I bomb, I eat shit, and then my girlfriend was like, and I was like, dang, man, that was the worst set I've probably done in front of my girlfriend. And then I've brought like multiple friends to my sets, dude. Like, and I don't know why, man. Those are always the sets that do bad for some reason.
Like you bring them out to open mics, or you bring them out to shows that you're doing?
No, I'll bring them out. I did one. You know what, dude? I did one. I brought my friend to an actual show, then an open mic. Yeah. And then I thought it was gonna be really good, and the sound system in the venue was like fucking up. Oh, so like I couldn't like stand in certain places, or I couldn't like raise my voice to a certain level. Otherwise, it would get like crazy feedback, like all over the sound system or whatever. And yeah, that was a little rough. But I powered through that one. But yeah, every single time I bring somebody, man, I don't know why.
Yeah, you got to deal with that, man, because like you're always gonna know you might always know somebody in the audience. Mm-hmm. I never invite people to mics.
Oh yeah.
Because you never know what they're gonna see. Sometimes there's like good comics working on good stuff or working on stuff back to back to back to back, and most times they're not. Yeah. So you don't want to invite nobody to a bad time. Yeah. Especially if you're gonna like try to say, hey, come to my show next weekend, They're like, no, man, I just saw what comedy was. Like, if that's what comedy is, like,
Yeah, very
no
true.
thanks, man.
Very true.
But no, like shows I'll promote, like, I'll have people come out there and just depending on how well I'm doing or how I feel like I'm doing,
Yeah.
I'll either like look in their direction, or just completely ignore that side of the room. Usually it's the latter. I'm just like, I don't see you right now.
Me too. I'm the exact same way.
But I know they're there. But I mean, I don't know. But like, like I always tell people that, well, like newer comics too, and like you're a young dude, so I guess like I mean, everybody could do there's no set way of how to do it. I didn't start jumping onto shows until probably close to a year of doing mics.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because, like, and I didn't talk to anybody for the first 6 months. I didn't talk to nobody. And then people started knowing me as the meth guy. Like, oh, you're the meth guy. I was like, oh, that's not really what I want to be known as. So I'm trying to change that. I still haven't yet. But yeah, man. Yeah.
I had one of those jokes too, where I'm like, I don't want to be known as that dude.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but like, that's another reason why I have the podcast is because I don't like to bother people like at the mics or at shows and stuff. I was like, oh, you want to come sit down and talk some shit, so you know what we're gonna get into and all that stuff. Otherwise, I just keep it short, sweet, just like whatever. But yeah, for the longest time, I didn't talk to anybody at the mics, and then just started jumping on shows. But I know a lot of young people that are just so eager, so like ready to fucking start doing shows. And like, if it's working for you, it's working for you, man. Like, there's no set way of it, man. And Irma in Mind Twist Comedy, she's always putting together shows, man.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty good. What made you want to get into comedy? Like, start doing actual stand up?
Well, I first started doing. I've never wanted a real job.
Nobody wants a real job, man.
Yeah, but I really don't want one. I really don't want a fucking real job. So, when I was 16 years old, man, that's when I figured out you can get paid doing YouTube.
I still haven't figured that out.
Right. Well, the way you do it is you do it through ads. You got to monetize your channel and like do all this shit and like go through a bunch of like, not a bunch. It's honestly pretty simple. But you get like paid for your ad revenue, right? For YouTube, right? You just need to monetize your channel. And I figured that out when I was 16. So I read a bunch of stuff and I watched a bunch of videos on how to do it, and I did, right? So when I was 16 years old, and I would make just a bunch of like stupid skits on my phone, or my parents bought me like $100 camera, and I would have my little brother who was like 11 at the time. No, he was like, probably like 9, and then I would have him just press the record button and just film me like saying whatever, like doing whatever. It was also at the time during
like stunts or like skits.
It was more skits, or sometimes it would be like a rant. Sometimes it would be like, I don't even know, man. You remember Vine? Yeah, that was when Vine was like popping when I was like in high school. So, but I didn't have an iPhone. I had this little like $100 like Obama phone from Cricket Wireless or whatever, and then I couldn't make vines because when it first started off, only iPhones could make vines, right? So, but I wanted to be like those guys, right? So like I would just post like things that I think would be good on a vine would be on YouTube. So sometimes I would have like a 7-second video on YouTube or whatever, and then I would just get like money from ads. I would just tell people from my high school, man, just like, hey, watch, I do YouTube, or I follow people on Instagram and they see that my bio has, my YouTube channel or whatever, and they click on it or whatever and stuff. And that's what I did in high school. But what happened? I had gotten discouraged because I didn't make enough, like I wasn't editing anything. I didn't have like any kind of software or like gadgets or anything. I literally just had my phone and my camera. You know what I'm saying? So I stopped doing it until I said, okay, I'm gonna do this again when I can afford it. You know what I'm saying? And then now I'm doing this show with my best friend when I can afford to do that shit, and I can afford to have like an editing software and like a nice camera and stuff, and put a little bit more time into it. But it was YouTube at first, right? And then I watched Eddie Murphy's Delirious, and that shit to me was the funniest thing. And I didn't even know like what like stand-up comedy was. I had seen like a few little things, but I had found that myself. was that Delirious special, and that shit, man. From there, I started watching that. I started watching Def Comedy Jam with Martin Lawrence hosting and stuff like that. Those shit that was super funny. I watched like 4 or 5 of Cat Williams specials. I saw all of Kevin Hart's specials at the time, and dude, I fell in love with stand-up.
All nothing but black comics.
Yeah, nothing but black comics. And you know what? And then I got.
Is that why he yells so much?
Maybe, maybe. And then after that, I fell in love with Louis C.K. I fell in love with him, and then I must have been maybe like 17 at the time. I had stopped doing YouTube, and then I was 17. I just learned about stand-up. Right, and then I would kind of see myself. I would kind of like envision myself or like imagine myself doing stand up, right? But I didn't really know like. I just remembered like imagining myself on a stage, holding a microphone. You know, like I didn't know like.
Did you do anything on stage before?
Never.
Like
never.
No acting, no nothing in high school. No
I would do like a skit or
productions.
2. I did like a skit or 2 at like church, or something.
At church?
Yeah, at church.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like in the youth group, or whatever. Right, we would play like little characters. I would do that, but never anything serious. Oh, you know what? No, when I was 18, I was in the church band for a little bit. Yeah, I played guitar.
Oh, you play guitar?
Yeah, I play guitar.
Oh, that's cool.
I learned in mariachi.
Okay.
12 years old.
Did you do anything with music, or that was the only thing? Just mariachi and church?
No. I never really thought I would do anything with music because I quit when I was like, I quit like 2 years into it.
It never made any sense to me. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. I guess everybody could play a guitar or something, but it never made any sense to me like that. People that knew how to play instruments didn't do anything with that. Like, why do you know this if you're not going to be in a band? Like,
that's how I am with comedy. That's how I am. I'm like, why are you like? There's some people like we said earlier. There's some people that just do it. You know what I'm saying? But I was like how you put like that much, like comedy's hard, bro. Like it's like instrument. Like learning an instrument is hard.
Yeah.
Like why put yourself through that and not do shit with it?
Yeah.
I've had like I have a friend that's like a really really good guitarist, and we talked about like being in projects and stuff like that. And actually, I picked up bass a little bit, and it's bass is simple, right? So he had offered me a position, or not a position, like to be in part of a band that has already like been looked at by like record labels, and like they just needed that fourth member, which was me, and then they can like get the project going. They can set up videos and like stuff like that, right? They just needed me.
They're like, you got tattoos. Here's a guitar.
yeah, you got tattoos and gauges here. Yeah, they basically gave me like, he handed me like a package saying like, dude, like we could like be like full-time musicians, right? This was a month ago, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, for real.
What band is that?
It's a band called Eyes of Another.
I want to say I've seen the font to that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
on a poster or something. For
it's like it's a very very local band. Yeah, but my friend's a guitarist in it, and he was like, yeah, man, like you just need to be our member, and you just need to learn this one song, and then do a video with us, and then you're part of the band, you know, and we can get like record labels looking at us and shit, right? But I was already doing comedy, and I fell in love with comedy, and then I just like stopped.
Wow, man, that's insane. Like to have that so close and stuff. As far as like being in a rock band, already almost signed.
Yeah, I guess, but
you know,
with me it's more. No, I don't want to do anything but comedy.
Yeah.
Now I've always since I've watched that Eddie Murphy special, I wanted to become a comedian when I was like 17, right?
That's such an old one though. That was from like the 80s and 90s.
It just popped up.
Yeah.
It just popped up on my YouTube.
Delirious. That's
it's when he's in the orange jumpsuit.
The orange one is raw, or the red one is raw. The purple one is delirious.
Purple one is raw.
I think it's backwards.
Dude, I'm telling you, I've seen Delirious like 8 times. Delirious, he has
I'll bet you.
You'll bet me right now.
I'll bet you.
Recorded right now.
It's recorded. We're recording it right now.
All right, I'll bet you.
$10. Raw is red. Delirious is purple.
Okay. All right.
All right. Deal. Yeah, man. Because so Raw would always be playing at like family gatherings.
That would be played on family gatherings?
Yeah. Well, like towards the end, and so the kids, I wouldn't be able to watch it. They're like, no, you got to go to the next.
That's what I'm saying.
It's too bad. It's too raunchy and all that stuff. So by the time I was able to see Raw, I was like, this is it. Like this is what y'all were hiding from us. Like it wasn't that bad, you know. Like, So because it was always built up, Eddie Murphy Raw, I knew of it for years. For years, and then when I finally saw it, because it was like so forbidden, I was like, "Oh man, now I'm gonna watch it. Like, lock the doors. I'm gonna watch it." Like finally, and I was like, "This is it. This is all." So it was very disappointing. Like, I blame my family for building it up too much, and then like it wasn't that good. But
Like you thought you were gonna see some like black.com or like shit, right?
I didn't know what to expect. I was like, "Why is it so bad?" Because they act like my family acts like they don't cuss around us or say like the most disgusting shit around the kids, but because it's on TV, they're like, no, you can't watch this now. Go to the next room. Go play outside. All that stuff. So it was always in my mind. It was always built up. And so when I saw it, like if maybe I would have a different perspective on it if it wasn't like so taboo, like the family didn't build it up as this bad thing that the kids can be a part of. But yeah, I really didn't dig it. I didn't dig it once I saw it because it was just built up too much.
No, I loved it, man. I loved it.
Yeah. So the first time you went up at LOL?
Yeah, LOL. I was that was July.
How long did it take you to talk yourself into going up?
Since I was 17.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you just went up a couple months ago. So you're 21. So 3 years.
Basically.
Wow.
Yeah, basically. We're at 4. Well, where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this, and then I had actually, you know what, man? I've always wanted to be a comedian, but I didn't really think that would be my career choice. I tried being a cop, and I tried being a firefighter at one time.
Yeah.
Like I was obsessed at being one of those.
Firefighters are hard, man.
Yeah,
the test is so fucking hard. Anybody could be a cop, but no, I don't mean any disrespect to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a buddy that was for years. His whole life was like he wanted to be a firefighter, but in that test they gave out to like all the applications or appliques, whatever the fuck. They only take like the top 5%.
Yeah.
So he never got past that. He never got past the written test and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So he became a cop.
Yeah, that's most people's stories.
Yeah, man.
That's most people. I took it. So what they do is they say like they take the top percentage, right?
5, 10%, something
exactly,
like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I took the test, I got an 80, and they took anybody that got an 86 and above. That's who was able to take the physical exam, and I missed it by 6 points.
Yeah.
And I was crying for a long time. So then I tried being a cop because I just wanted. I was going to school. I was going to A&M San Antonio, and no disrespect to that school or anything, but it just wasn't for me.
Like school or that school?
School in general.
Yeah, no, I get that.
It just wasn't for me. So I just wanted. I just wanted to be out of I didn't want like a real job. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be like something like
being a cop or a firefighter is a real job.
Yeah, but it's more than like I work at
like an office job.
Yeah,
you didn't
yeah,
want an office job.
Yeah,
okay.
I wanted something. I wanted like since I was a kid, I was like I'm gonna be something that like I'm proud of myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a cop. I'm proud of myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm something. You know, I didn't want to be just like a regular dude. I wanted to do something that I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And
is that in the family? Like, do you have cops or firefighter family members? No.
Zero. No, my family is like, you have kids, and then you take your first job that you can get to feed them, and then if you're moving up in that job, fine. If you're not, whatever. You have kids. You know what I'm saying? That's how my family is.
Yeah.
So me doing comedy is like unheard of for them. You know what I'm saying?
What made you not want to be a cop anymore? Or not want to apply to be a cop?
So when you apply to be a police officer, right, for SAPD, right, you're not supposed to have done any illegal substances 3 years prior to your application, right? That's 3 years. Now I applied in December of 2018, right? I believe so. Yes. Yeah, 2018. And I had done mushrooms and THC oil 3 months prior to that, right?
Couldn't you just lie and say no?
They
you
polygraph
didn't?
you.
They polygraph
They
you?
polygraph you, yeah. Which, if you don't know what a polygraph is, lie detector. Now, if
Yeah.
you think, oh, that's fine, I'm going to lie about this, and it's okay. Like, I'm going to pass. I'm just going to keep my heart rate down, and I'm just going to, like, ease through it, I'm gonna lie through it, right?
Yeah. It's not a lie if you believe it yourself.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Well, you didn't believe it. You didn't believe hard enough.
Well, I thought, dude, I was like freaking, man, I freaking wrote it in the back of my eyelids, dude. Freaking just like reading it,
Yeah.
trying to freaking believe it, dude. No, I couldn't do it, man. I freaking failed the polygraph, and then I went to from SAPD. I applied to Bexar County, the sheriff's department here. I failed that one too. Yeah. They
ask you the same questions?
Yeah, they asked me the same questions, but a guy had told me, they were like, oh yeah, dude, like if you fail SAPD, go to Bexar County because they don't polygraph. And I'm like, bet. And then I go, and they're like, okay, like just fill out this information, and then you're gonna be at your polygraph at this time. And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, you should like do the polygraph. And I'm like, no, I don't. And they're like, yeah, you do. So I went and failed that shit too. It was great. Yeah. So then I tried like arguing about it. And I was like, no, I didn't, right? And then like they had me write like an appeal. They had to like do all this paperwork, like trying to like overturn like the decisions that they made. And then they're like, okay. And then I was like hoping, I was like praying, I was like, this is what I meant to do. I have to do this. And then a week later in the mail, I get a letter saying, thank you for your interest in this position. You are permanently disqualified from ever like
Permanently
yeah,
disqualified?
permanently disqualified from like applying to this thing or whatever.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so they were like, your dreams are done. They're like, great.
Dang, man.
Yeah, but honestly, it's. I know you hear this a lot, but like.
No, I've never heard that before.
No. I was gonna say like it's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Oh yeah.
But like, if I became a cop, or if I became a firefighter, I wouldn't be like the same person.
Well, yeah. I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it obviously changes you.
Exactly. And I don't want. And that honestly, when I was going through that process, I was like, oh, I don't want that to happen to me. Like I'm gonna try everything in my power to not like be like a dick or like not to be like, you know, like just like this like quiet dude, you know, like I'm me, like I'm a funny guy, you know what I'm saying? I like to like be joking and lighthearted all the time, you know. I don't want to be anybody different, you know. And I was actually afraid of that. So if I became a cop or something like that, then I feel like that would have changed, you know.
You think it would have changed you that much? Like you would
Probably.
have toughened up?
I'm a sensitive dude, man.
Be mean?
Yeah, I'm a sensitive guy.
Sensitive cop?
Yeah, dude, I'll cry, man. I'll cry right now. I tried going into the army, but every single time I went to the recruitment office, I just turned around, pussied out.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do this. I had to pussied out every single time. I did like 3 times where I walked up to the door and I was like, I'm out.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Like nobody tried to convince you, like, oh, I see you standing out there just coming in and
No,
fill
I
out
went.
this paperwork.
The first time I went, I talked to the guy a little bit,
Yeah.
and then he was like selling me on it a little bit, but I just like, I kept pussying out, man. Yeah. And then I would like tell people, I would be like, yeah, I'm gonna be in like the army. Like I would tell people to try to like
Convince
to convince them, and also convincing myself like, oh, I'm gonna do this, but like I couldn't. I pussed it out.
Why would you feel the need? Like, what makes you feel the need to have a job like that? Like, yeah, it's open to men and women, yeah. But you were thinking of it as something that's gonna make you tough, or that kind of symbolizes toughness or something.
I think I just wanted to be, like I said, I just wanted to be proud of myself.
Yeah.
I just wanted to do something and be like, oh, I did this. You know, I wanted to go through something that, you know, a lot of people don't go through, and then be proud of myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't care if people like me. People are gonna like me. You know what I'm saying? But I always want to kind of like myself. You know what I'm saying? Be proud of myself. Like I have I guess like people have their image of like themselves and like what they are. You know what I'm saying? Like I have an image of myself that I think that I want to strive to be. You know what I'm saying? Which is a respectable guy that I want to respect. You know what I'm saying? They're just I want me to be the best me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is I just want to be proud of myself.
So what made you give up all that
and
start comedy?
Well, the letter in the mail saying you're permanently disqualified for that.
Yeah.
The firefighter was I failed it, and the next year, dude, the day right before, I went to go take the test, my car exploded. Like it just like broke down on the side of the road, and I had to get a new car.
Holy shit.
Yeah, the day before, and then I couldn't make it to the test the next day because I had to find a new car. Right, so I was like, okay, well, Jesus is telling me something. Like, don't do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or else you're going to die in a fire.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So I stopped pursuing that. I stopped pursuing the army. And then I wasn't doing anything, man. I was just going to school. I was taking like 1 or 2 classes a semester, and then ended up dropping them because, like I said, I just wanted to feel like I was doing something. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to feel like I was like being productive and like working on myself because like I'm only 21, like I said, so like everybody my age is like getting into what they want to be career wise, and like of course college always drills into you like if you don't have a degree you're a fucking loser.
Where'd you grow up? What side of town did you grow up?
I grew up in Somerset.
Somerset.
Yeah.
What's like the class over there? Like, is it like rich or like middle,
No,
high
it's like
middle class or
lower to mid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
No, because just that whole like that eagerness, that whole like motivation to like make something or do something that you're proud of. I don't know, man. Like a lot of like just depending on like certain areas, they really don't have that. You know,
Well,
they kind of like just be stagnant or just go with the flow. Like
Yeah. No,
a lot of people don't have
definitely-
that drive, just depending on where they grew up. You know.
Yeah. No, that comes from my dad. My dad went. Okay, so when you're a little kid, right, and your kid's like doing activities or whatever, your kid's a kid doing shit, right, sports, whatever, art in school. You tell your kid, hey, do your best, right? They tell you, hey, tell your kid to do your best, right? My dad didn't tell me that. My dad told me to be the best.
Damn.
Yeah, he was like, I don't want you to try your best. I want you to be the best, right? So, as a kid, it would kind of make me sad because I was like, oh, if I'm not the best, my dad doesn't like me. You know what I'm
Jesus
saying?
Christ.
That's what I thought as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
growing up, like if I wasn't the best, then I was just a piece of shit, right? But like now that I'm getting older, and I realize like the difference between trying and, like I said, going with the flow, like what it gets you and where it puts you and stuff like that. Like, I realized it was good to tell me that. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't going through like a depressive. I wasn't going through like a depressive episode where I was like, oh, I feel like shit.
Where do you think he got that from? Like, was he military or was
No.
he? anything like
He was
that?
a regular guy.
Why do you think he had so much pressure about that? Like, don't try, just you be your best.
Probably the Rocky franchise.
The Rocky.
Probably that. We fucking love Rocky, man. Yeah. Yeah, probably the Rocky. Probably like 1 or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
One of those, man.
Rocky, Star Wars, you know, like don't
Yeah.
try to do whatever.
That shit, man, where you think you're fucking better. You know what I'm saying? Be better than people.
That's a lot of pressure as a kid, man.
I guess. I don't know.
Did you always have that? Like, or was that like when you got older, like closer to your teen years?
No, it's always been the same. Like it's always been like me. Like I just want to be the best
Damn,
at whatever I'm doing.
that's a lot of pressure.
That's where you're saying, well, oh, young comics are eager to jump on shows already. It's like, yeah, man, I'm trying to sell out shit already, bro. Like I'm trying to like that's just me, not just because I'm being eager. That's just how I think. It's like I want to quit my job already. Like I want to dude. The first show I did for Irma, I got paid $15 for 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, I'm quitting my job. Like I'm a fucking full-time comedian. Like I'm done.
Do you still live at home?
No, I live in a little studio apartment.
You live on your own.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
still think $15 a show?
Yeah. I'm
Was
done.
gonna carry
Dude,
you.
I had that. Honestly, I had that feeling for like 15 seconds, and I was like, okay, let me go back to reality. But I did for real for like a little bit be like, I'm fucking quitting.
Well, I mean, that's a good pride thing. I mean, like, yeah, like it's nice fantasy feeling to feel that, you know, like an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Getting paid to do something that you were just doing as a hobby type of thing. I mean, but yeah, man. I mean, you got to make sure that you keep it realistic.
Yeah, I
know?
know. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, I freaking I know, man. I got all these fucking bills and shit. Comedy doesn't pay that right now.
No, man. And see, that's another thing too. Like people like and a lot of people that have been doing comedy for a long time, like yes, this is their business and stuff. But I just think when it starts becoming your business or a business, that's when it stops becoming fun. Like you start being pressured or stressed out about like booking shows and staying busy, hitting the road, going out, and all that stuff. Like you're taking the fun out of
What it is.
what it's supposed to be. You know.
But I think, you know, there's got to be some kind of downside to it. You know what I'm saying? Can't just be all fucking like a fantasy, I guess. You know, it's still a job. You're still working. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah,
That's
I
what
mean,
think.
you take it seriously. You take it seriously because you're spending a lot of time on it. You know, you're spending a lot of time writing or however you do it. You're spending a lot of time going out to mics. You're spending a lot of time going out to shows, doing all that stuff. So yeah, you want to take it with a certain sense of urgency, certain sense of like seriousness. You know, so that's why I see some people like they go out and they just get fucking shit faced drunk. Like you just wasted your night. Like there's been nights where I go to mics and I get drunk and I'm just like, after I get off stage, I was like, that you just wasted your whole night. You know, you accomplished nothing. You worked on nothing. You're a worthless piece of shit. Pride. No, man, but like, yeah, I mean, you want to take it to serious to an extent, you know, because it's supposed to be fun, you know. You have to make sure you're having fun up there.
For sure. I have fun. The whole process of it is fun for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love it. I don't ever drink. Like I smoke a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But like I don't ever drink before a show. You know what I'm saying? But all of it's fun for me, man. All of it's fun. My goal for comedy is to go on the road and have my podcast or have my YouTube show and just do that full time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I have. That's my plan is to just, you know, make a couple bucks doing that, invest, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, you know, lay back.
And you're so young too, man. Like I have a buddy of mine, Justin Byers, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we talk every now and then. Him and Joey Smith and Brendan Potter, we're always in each other's ear talking shit. And he's pretty hard on himself. It's like, dude, you're so fucking young now that like if you just keep it like at this pace that you're going, like you're gonna be a fucking killer. 6, 8, 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, like you got plenty of time and shit. Like I'm a little bit older, so I have that kind of sense of that sense of urgency. Like I kind of need to like pick up the pace a little bit.
Yeah.
But I stay humble too. You know, like I don't want to go out all out and say like, oh, this is, you know, I'm gonna teach a comedy class or something. Yeah. That. You know, I mean it's fun, but I'm just now in this year, I decided to kind of take it more seriously, because I didn't do any shows. Like I didn't actively go out to get shows. Like you see those postings online, like oh, I got this show available, I got this spot available. Who wants to do that? I never replied to any of that. Oh, really? All the shows that I've done, which aren't many because they were all people who invited me to do it.
Oh, okay.
You know, so I probably only did last year. I probably only did 30 shows.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, plus Blind Tiger shows. I'm counting those too. So I think it might be a little bit more than that. But for the whole year, for 365 days, I only did 30 shows. So it's not really a lot.
Something.
But so now I'm gonna be more aggressive and actually go and try to find more shows. Like be active about booking myself and not just wait to see if somebody fucking emails me or hopefully they see me at a mic and ask me to do on a show. Yeah. So yeah, like just small steps. You know, like don't be too aggressive with it. And again, like you don't want to give anybody the wrong impression. Yeah. You know, if you tell somebody you could do 10 minutes, make sure it's like the fire 10 minutes that you have. Yeah, you know? For sure. Not just like I could talk for 10 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, my thing is, man, back then, like this, like now was like, people say that now is the only time in history of comedic history where the comedians are getting paid this much. You know what I'm saying? I did some numbers on, you ever heard of Chris D'Elia? Dude, you know how much he makes a night? On a tour?
No idea.
Dude, he makes like $500,000 a night, dude. For like 4 shows. He'd do like $500,000, bro. You know what I'm saying? It used to be, if you wanted to be a comic, you had to go to LA or New York. You know what I'm saying? Grind, do all the mics. You know what I'm saying? And then hopefully jump on a tour with somebody, and then do, you know, the tour for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Never have friends, never have a family. You know what I'm saying? Trying to hone your craft and hone and get your own like audience. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays it's the age of the internet. You know what I'm saying? The internet's out here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
many more tools than people. Yeah,
exactly. There's so many. The reason we're doing this is so we can sell tickets. You know what I'm saying? It's so we can fill those seats, right? So if nobody knows you, and somebody just put you on a show, of course, like you're not going to get that much money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you have something like your own podcast or your own YouTube show or you're on a radio or something, right? And then just like what's his name, Big John.
Yeah, man. I mean, he was doing just YouTube.
Exactly, and he
YouTube
said
channel.
exactly right, and then he was able to sell out a show.
Yeah.
Before he even did open mics.
Yeah.
Because all of those people knew him from his fucking videos.
And he's a naturally funny dude. Like he won the contest over there at Luchador before they started the mics that they have now. They just had a comedy competition.
Yeah.
And apparently he won like 4 or 5 of those. I mean, he's a funny dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to be based off of his YouTube channel, that's how people. I mean, that's how he promoted himself.
Exactly.
Promoted the shows.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's very impressive. I mean, like again, like some people. I mean, there's no one set way to do it.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm just saying, it's a lot easier for us now. We don't have to move out to leave all that we know. We can just, in my opinion, I think there's a way where you don't have to do all that shit. You know what I'm saying? You can create your own fan base, right? And then if this podcast gets big, you know what I'm saying, you have a following. You know what I'm saying? Then you can fucking tour, man. Sell out shit. Get popular enough to where you can sell tickets.
Yeah.
Instead of not wasting, but like spending all of that time, you know what I'm saying? Of course, still do mics and still work on your stand-up, you know what I'm saying? But if you want to sell tickets and shit, like, you need a following, you know what I'm saying? And now that we have the internet, it's a lot easier to do that. You know what I'm saying?
So you do that TikTok page?
No, I don't do any of that shit.
What's the difference between that and like Vine and YouTube? Well, Vine's no more, right?
No, Vine's no more.
So TikTok
is like the new
I know people
Vine.
are like starting like that's a new Vine.
It's a newer kind of Vine, yeah.
Okay, but that's just for like short videos and stuff.
Yeah, I think they go up to like a minute.
What can you do in a minute, man?
You could do, hey, bro, when Vine was a thing, people would they only had like 6 or 7 seconds, and they would get huge.
Well, I guess so. A lot of people watch those videos nonstop all day.
Exactly. Exactly.
The little funny videos and stuff. So you just started in July, right?
Yeah.
How do you think you've progressed between your first time going up and now?
I have a decent 10 minutes.
You decent 10 minutes?
Decent 10 minutes. I have a good 5 minutes. I have a decent 10 minutes.
Have you changed anything, like as far as like your writing style, what you talk about, how you perform? Like,
yeah, for sure.
You've adjusted all that? Or?
Yeah, for sure. My writing, honestly, dude, a lot of my writing is in my car. Is driving to a comedy show. That's where I get a lot of my writing from. I won't do that. Sometimes I'll do it that day. Most of the time, I like to have an idea and write it down, and then build upon that. You know what I'm saying? And then try out the punchline that I figured out. If the setup works, usually the setup works. For me, usually the setup works, and the punchline is usually garbage. For me. Now I'm trying to like maneuver that, or like trying to reconfigure that out. You know what I'm saying? So like if I go to like Elbow Room, if I try a punchline out, if it doesn't work, but the setup works, then I'll just like, switch out the punchline for something else. That's usually how my writing is. Where I get my ideas is just from like my life. Like if I have a little dog, I have a girlfriend. Like I have something that happened to me when I was playing football when I was a kid. Yeah, just like but I have a good, I think, like decent 10 minutes.
Did you have the girlfriend before or after you started comedy?
The same day.
What?
Yeah, the same day. What happened? I felt good, man. I was already talking to her a little bit. Like, I tell this. I always say this about my friend that I do my YouTube channel. His name's Ed, and dude, I was with Ed like every single day. Like we would like do the show. We would hang out. We'd like fuck around, like play video games or whatever. And then, I did my first open mic at Laugh Out Loud. And then immediately after I did the open mic, I texted a girl, like, hey, let's hang out. And then, like, I started doing comedy, and I started dating that girl, like, the exact same night.
Jesus Christ,
so
dude.
he just lost his fucking best friend, like, literally in a couple hours.
Poor Ed.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So funny. And I haven't mended that relationship because fuck you, Ed. And I hope he hears that.
How's your girlfriend with comedy and how busy you are with it?
She gets it. She gets it. I'm not going to school, and I have a little job. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, I wouldn't be dating you if you weren't doing comedy.
Really?
That's what she told me. Yeah, because other than that, I'm not doing anything. I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I'm not bettering myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to school. I'm not fucking in the military or anything. Like I'm not doing anything to better myself. So like this is the one thing that I'm doing. So she's like, if you're not doing comedy, I don't know if I would have started dating you.
That's interesting, man.
Yeah.
I guess that's supportive. You know. Yeah. You got. She's making you stick
the
with
ultimatum.
It. Yeah.
If you stop this, I'm fucking leaving.
That's funny, man.
That's what she is, man.
So you tried to join the army, or at least that's what you say.
Yeah.
You try to become a cop. You try to be a firefighter.
Correct.
You do comedy now. If you weren't focused on any of that stuff, hypothetically, it could be anything. Try to have fun with it. What do you think your focus would be?
Stripper.
A stripper.
And I'm not lying. I'm not lying to you, a stripper. I would be a stripper.
Do you know any strippers?
I was offered a job at Hard Bodies.
Yeah.
When I was at school, and I was at the gym, in this little gym there, I was squatting, right? So I had my ass all perked up. You know what I'm saying? I was all sweating, and a guy came up to me, man. He was like, "Hey, dude," he's like, "I'm putting together a team, right? Like I work at Hard Bodies, and I want to like put up a team." And we like go around to like different places and we like perform, right? And I'm like, okay, like what do we do?
It's nice how he calls it a team.
Yeah, like the Avengers, like he's like the Nick Fury of fucking like strippers. He's like, I'm putting together a team. Like, are you in or are you out? You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it was. He just offered me a job. I'm lying. He offered a guy next to me a job, right? He was telling this, right? And then he looked at me. He was like, you could do it too.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. But like, how do you sound? Like, how does that sound? And I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like, how much do you make? He's like, in a weekend, I'll probably make like $500-600 in a weekend. I'm like, oh shit. Okay. He's like, yeah, but he's like, you got to watch out though, because like there is like temptations and there's like like influences and shit.
Bonuses.
Yeah, exactly. There is like the under the table shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay. So as a joke, I said, let me ask my dad. I said that as a joke. I said, let me just ask my dad. Right? And he's like, oh, okay. As a joke, like he laughed, haha. And then the next day, he was like, he saw me in the hallway. He was like, did you ask your dad? And I was like, did you think I was serious? He was like, yeah, did you ask him?
You should have asked your dad. You're like, you be the fucking best goddamn stripper out there.
Right? He said, I want you to try your best. I want you to be the best.
What would be your stripper backstory, your stripper name and all that stuff?
I don't know. Probably, I think I would like play like a veteran, like like as if like like live out that fantasy of like being in the military. Like like I'm a veteran. You're like I'm a fucking PTSD and shit. Like, don't play this random song or I'll start killing like bitches and shit.
I don't think that's entertaining, but
I think it is.
Yeah.
You said hypothetically.
No. I'm
dream.
just saying.
Dream.
I don't think your customers, male or female, we didn't get into that. I don't think they would expect or respond well to that type of backstory. Like, we can't have no loud music.
Nothing with gunshots.
Nothing too pounding.
Yeah, but that's where my charisma comes in.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you look at this, isn't on video, right? So like, I have short hair, right? In my hypothetical situation, I'm having long ass hair, abs. My dick is probably like 3 inches bigger. You know what I'm saying? Tidy whities, right? And I'm a comedian right now, so it's not like as if like I'm not gonna be, it's not as if I'm gonna be not funny. I'm gonna be funny. You know what I'm saying? So just work on that charisma, man. You know what I'm saying? But don't play loud music.
No loud music.
No loud music, man.
Don't trigger his PTSD.
Yeah, please don't.
Cool, man. This was fun. Thanks for coming out.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Replugs. Do your social medias, your YouTube, and your shows that you got coming up.
Okay, again, on Instagram, SaltyXDog.
Oh, yeah. What is Salty S Dog?
That's just my username, man. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
Just my username. Yeah.
I always think there's a story behind something. No, man. It's just
that one literally is. I saw the tag on the inside of my beanie. And the color to that tag says Salty Dog. Like that's the color of the beanie that I bought. So I just made it that my username.
Salty Dog.
Salty Dog. And then I'm hosting a gig on January 17th, Ash Basement Bar underneath Smoke Restaurant. And then again on YouTube at the Bear and the Boar. Make sure to like and subscribe, please. That'd be great. And then Facebook, James Martinez, and that's it.
Follow Instagram or Twitter, Patrick C. Huerta, or the BarbacoaCore.com for any show information. This was fun, dude. Thanks for coming out.
Man.
Latest.